Sanjay Uchiha here, people. Wagwan. So welcome back to the channel, and today we have an interesting Boruto discussion about Sarada Uchiha. Of course, this video will contain spoilers for the Boruto manga, so if you're an anime only watcher, of course, fair warning to you, or if you haven't caught up to the Boruto manga. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So Sarada Uchiha, it's fair to say that she is one of the better written characters out of all the new generation Boruto characters, and it's to the point where I feel fans, the reception to her character has been so good that I honestly think a lot of persons would prefer her as the main character over Boruto Uzumaki. Granted, her goal is really similar to Naruto, so I guess they didn't really want to have it being like that repetitive in terms of, you know, the main characters, in terms of the goal that the main character is striving for, so you can't really bash them there. But as the daughter of Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Uchiha, which is you've got to admit it's still funny to say Sakura Uchiha, but yeah, as the daughter of these two, there is a lot of expectations for Sarada's character. Now, I've spoken on this channel before in terms of how I think Sarada may, you know, rise to godhood, or in the sense that how she'll actually reach god level, because with all the craziness that happened in the Boruto manga in 2019, like with the defeat of Naruto and Sasuke, a lot of people, I imagine, are wondering how new generation characters are going to reach up to that level. And as I said, I've spoken to a degree about how I feel characters such as Boruto are actually going to reach that level, and even Sarada. In Sarada's case, I was mentioning that the manga has pointed out that the 100 healings, or the Byakugo seal that's on like Tsunade, and that Sakura and Tsunade make use of, it has ties back to the Sage of Six Paths time, so that would be the key for Sarada, who has begun to learn the basics of the jutsu to actually reach godhood. But with today's video, I actually wanted to speak about some other aspects of how I feel she'll actually get to that level without sacrificing, or basically as an alternative to some theories that are already in the community. So revisiting something else that we haven't actually considered before is that, yes, we can expect Sarada is going to go through something to get Mangekyo, but how will she get the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? Now, or how will she combat the effects of the Mangekyo Sharingan? Now, I'd imagine based on how they developed the Byakugo seal, they could, you know, forego her, you know, switching eyes with somebody. Now, Sasuke is really and truly the only person she could really switch eyes with, close in terms of close family member. But one thing I feel like a lot of persons are forgetting is that, you know, where are Sasuke's eyes? He took Itachi's eyes, obviously, but there was no mention of what happened to Sasuke's eyes. Now, I know it's been more than 15 years in universe, but just bear with me for a bit. Shishui's eyes managed to last basically longer than that. So if Sasuke's eyes were sealed or put up carefully, then they could definitely be, you know, retrieved and given to Sarada for her to get eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, as I said, they didn't actually mention what happened to Sasuke's eyes, so they could actually just pull anything and just say X and Y. So yeah, it wouldn't really be like too much of a plot hole, unless I'm forgetting something about when Sasuke did the whole switch to get Itachi's eyes. Can always let me know in the comment section below. So that's one. That's the first way for Sarada to, you know, power up using, you know, something that I feel a lot of fans aren't actually considering. Now, the Rinnegan. Rinnegan. One common theory that a lot of persons have are, you know, and it's to be expected, a lot of persons feel Sasuke is going to, like, you know, kick the bucket and basically give his Rinnegan to Sarada. But I want to look at the alternative. How can Sarada achieve Rinnegan some other way to reach, you know, help her reach up to god level? We gotta look at how do you actually achieve the Rinnegan. Now, I know for some time in Naruto, it was kind of built up to say, like, if you mix Uchiha and Senju DNA, but we later find out that's not necessarily the case. If you mix the chakra of the reincarnations of Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths. You can mix a track of Indra and Ashura, you eventually unlock the Rinnegan, which is what Madara did by, implanting DNA from Hashirama. Since they were both, reincarnations of Hagoromo's sons, then yeah, obviously, he eventually unlocked the Rinnegan in his old age, as you all know. Of course, Sasuke achieved it by receiving chakra, receiving that power directly from Hagoromo. So, half of Hagoromo's chakra. So, obviously, that's a more direct way than, just combine the chakras of his two sons, obviously. Now, you gotta look at the third way now, is that Kaguya and even Momoshiki had a Rinnegan as well. But obviously, they more like got it from eating chakra fruits. So that could be another way for Sarada to actually get a Rinnegan, considering the fact that a lot of us expect, and I would imagine that's going to be the case, hopefully, we're going to get into a full-blown conflict with the Otsutsuki. So I do expect some, dimension hopping, ridiculous stuff later on in the Boruto series. I wouldn't be surprised if if we come up across like some way for Sarada to come in contact, probably some leftovers or some chakra fruits. Sounds wild, I know, but it's possible, and probably through that she could actually get the Rinnegan through that way. Now, as I've also said before, is that the Byakugo seal ties to Hagoromo's time. They could, develop that in some shape or form, because at the end of the day, obtaining the Rinnegan, you could probably even boil it down to probably just getting Otsutsuki chakra, or probably getting Otsutsuki chakra that's been influenced, or been influenced by a chakra fruit. Yeah, let's put it like that. So if the Byakugo seal has some ties to Hagoromo's time, it could have some ties to the Otsutsuki clan, and that could probably lead to Sarada unlocking some hidden Otsutsuki chakra or something like that. It's a big stretch, I know, don't crucify me, but I think it's interesting to kind of speculate on this, because I kind of just wanted to think about ways how, the progression in terms of how Sarada would actually get there, because honestly, even though she is a very credible ninja, she's powerful for her age. She's definitely Chunin level, mid Chunin at least. Her path to power later in the series is probably the most difficult to kind of gauge, where like the entire new Team 7 is concerned. Like Boruto and Kawaki, it's easy to see how they're going to reach up the god level, I'd say. Mitsuki, but not so bad, it's Sage mode, but outside of Sage mode, you could imagine he's the son of Orochimaru. But Sarada, I think it's much more difficult, especially given how the Sharingan is set up. But I think with all the things that I've laid out for this video, I think we could have a clear idea of how she'll get to that level. Probably making use of Sasuke's eyes. There are multiple ways you could probably get the Rinnegan, considering the environments where we expect them to be, going into where the future of the series is concerned. Sarada could easily probably get a Rinnegan. And especially if you even consider the fact that, Hagoromo himself, he's dead, but he still exists as a spirit, and, he could probably come back and talk to Sasuke or Naruto, given how we saw things, be revealed about his character at the end of Shippuden, that, he basically he's been watching his sons battle over, like, generations. So, yeah. It's not too much of a stretch to see Hagoromo actually even coming back into the story to help out the children of his reincarnated sons. I should probably even do a video on that in terms of Hagoromo coming back into the story. The Sage of Six Paths in Boruto, that'd be wild. But yeah, I think I've rambled on enough for this video. Let me know what you think in terms of my ideas, in terms of how they could handle Sarada getting her eye power-ups and if the pathway to her becoming ridiculously powerful or god level like Naruto and Sasuke, if it makes sense. And just let me know what you think overall, people. But anyway, Sarada Uchiha here. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me on this channel. It's 2020. Let's see if we can make that 1,000 subscriber mark. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.